Hey, StarCrafters, check it out. It's another game of StarCraft featuring my buddy Zombie. He is the Red Terran player up here on, this looks like Daybreak again, maybe? And you can see I have brought us into the action, a little further into the action, so we don't have to watch SCVs, mine the first little batch of minerals there. Same opening we saw in the last game from him, a one rack, one gas. This time his opponent is a Terran player named FREEDOMluvR. I suppose if you're going to love stuff, freedom is one of those things that rightfully takes a place on the top of the list there. And so now we've got the second barracks coming down, just like in the last game. Who did we see him play? It was King Thror, the god of Thunder. He was a Protoss player, and he did a very similar. Is that a reactor? Yes, it is. So he's doing a very similar opening to his PVT opening, and we've got kind of the nope, not even the same thing at all. We've got a factory going down here, and then into an expand. So one racks, one fact, into an expand with a tech lab on the factory, double gas coming down. So this is interesting. I'm not sure exactly what this is going to be. If you remember from that game versus Thunder, we watched Zombie do this 3 racks into an SCV attack with Marines and Marauders, pulled some SCVs, and that came at about the 7-minute-ish mark. But this time he's got a factory going and a second gas coming down. So, but it looks like maybe he's up to the same tricks. He's going a little earlier. He's bringing a little bit less stuff, so maybe he has different intentions here. That's all I can think of. He might just be trying to poke and see what's going on. And if it looks like he can get away with it, maybe put a bunker down or soak up a little bit of fire, and he might actually be in good shape here. Well, the bunker finished just in time. If this bunker doesn't finish, I think he's got a good shot at taking this one, but with a bunker and siege tanks, ooh, that's just a bloody pulp sandwich. Ooh, a bloody pulp sandwich with blue Terran bread. Oof. Okay, so that didn't go so well, but I think if he gets there, say, right before this bunker finishes, instead of just as this bunker finishes, he fares a lot better, even if he's taking that tank shelling, because he can just, hide over this way and totally deny all this and force this down the ramp, and then it's unsieged, and then he can run it. So it was really close. It had to be like within probably 5 real seconds, maybe 7, 8, 10 game seconds. So there we can see our supply counts pretty even on the workers, and our blue player's army is a little lower, but he's got some siege tanks, so he doesn't need to have a real big army at this point, and he's already got his expansion up and running. And this thing shows whatever that is, and then there's another one that shows, oops, oh, I just enabled the music. Good lord, I don't get that. Where's what the? There we go. We're looking at APMs there. I don't know why I brought that up. I thought I would. So a defensive stance here. We've got nice coverage from the siege tanks. You can see all the way out to here, and they're kind of covering each other, I'm guessing. Yep, see that tank can still cover this tank can cover that tank, and Zombie's up to his shenanigans again. This is what won him the game versus the Protoss player, but this is a lot earlier. This was kind of like, okay, it won't work at the front, we'll try it in the back. Actually, that's how a date ended for me when I was a younger man. But looks like he's gonna just get up and out of here because siege tank and whatnot. Or is he gonna bomb drop it? He bomb dropped it. See the other tank? Oh no, this tank. Okay, I didn't see this tank over here. See, you bomb drop the tanks, and then the other tanks fire on those tanks and kill the tanks for you. Unfortunately, it cost him everything he was working on there. It's cost him everything he had. But what's he remaking? See, he's already making, and he knows. See, those siege tanks cannot get across this map very quickly at all. So he knows he's got time to build up a sufficient defense, and he did a decent amount of damage there. I kind of dug that. That was neat. There's a units lost and resources lost, and our red player, that Zombie, has lost a bit more, but he's also ahead in supply significantly by like 20 points exactly. And it looks like he's got a little more going on in the production tab. Well, All right, before I go ahead and just make a sweeping statement like that, yeah, no stim here. So he's got the siege, but he had to trade the stim for it, and now he's got a Viking? That seems odd to me. And hey, look, uh-oh, another drop, this time from the top side, and he's going to get some more SCV kills. Get those blown up. Targets the ones that were in gas first. Very nice. Oh, I almost said completely leaving this bunker out of play by staying behind the mineral line, but that's not true, because just as I was about to say that, he ran right into range of it. But once the siege tanks get down here and are able to offer their support, he picks up and leaves. Nice harassment damage, sir, Mr. Zombie, whom in the last game I mentioned that he sent me a replay pack of 3 games, and this is the second one of them. So this is a little bit different look. The last game we saw him do what looked like a very contrived, or and I don't mean that in a negative connotation, but just a very specific, deliberate, somewhere around 7-15 minute push with Marines and Marauders and SCVs versus a Protoss opponent. And this time versus a Terran opponent, he did a much earlier poke that was probably just as much scout as anything else. It died on the ramp, and now he's gone into this pretty good harassment mode. Where's the workers killed? Is that this one? Hey, look at that. So he's done a lot of work on holding back his opponent's economy, and I really like what he's done. And it's only difference is 4 SCVs now, but if you look at the supply difference, what's the guy's name? FREEDOMluvR is really behind in army supply because he's had to replenish his worker supply so often. Very nice. Now we're just taking a little map control here, and is going to run around, take a look. Looks like the Vikings are scouting around. I'm guessing to try to cut down those drop ships, but surprise, I'll just float them around the center. Just float them to the center, you know? Oh, how fortuitous is that? I don't know if Zombies saw these Vikings, but the first time he goes all the way around back, second time he goes all the way around top, third time straight down the gullet. Why not? Gets out of range of the turret there to actually get his boys in the fight, and is doing some damage there. I think he's just going to trade units for units here. I haven't seen any workers go down, but at least he's pulling his opponent's army back. Here comes the Vikings, here comes the tanks, and he's got his factory floating out front. So he knows, even though he threw those units away, he absolutely knows that his opponent is not attacking, is not even capable of attacking him right now. This is all he's got. He can see the whole thing. It's a few tanks, a couple of Marines, Marauder. You know, I mean, this is not an invasion force. So I kind of like that play by our friend Zombie, and he's just cranking out the bile. Got the MMM happening, and what is this? There's a bunch of additional barracks. He's getting some ups. There's about mind out in his main. He's going to have to start thinking about a third here pretty soon. He's do I still have the units tab up there? Yes, I do. So he's holding on 53. Oh wow, he has really jumped ahead in the worker count. Remember last time I glanced up there and commented about it, he was a little bit behind, and now he's sufficiently ahead. So here's just these Vikings back on their anti-medevac patrol route, and you know, we're just cutting straight down the center of the map again. So I would like to know if Zombie's actually aware of those patrol patterns, but or if he's just, you know, lucky in that he didn't wander his way into those patrol paths. But it looks like they found each other now, regardless, and we're going to have a little bit of a scuffle here at the third. The Vikings are shoot away. The Vikings of FREEDOMluvR, who's a runaway lover at this point. That was a very disappointing skirmish. I will have to say I moved the interface and everything, ready to get in there and talk about all the stuff that was blowing up and dying, and well, what we actually have is creation happening. There was very little death and destruction. We actually are going to be left with more than we had previously. It's kind of a nice story, actually. Speaking of creation, here's some more over here. We're creating a third base. because pickings are getting a little slim over here, and it looks like, please be gearing up for another attack, or are we going to do a little harassment? A little harassment in the back. I like it. Oh, don't, no, you know. Whew, did you see that thing twitch? It was like, and then those things flew away. There's supposed to be dudes in there. That's actually like a manned missile turret. It's not automated. There's a dude in there. Here's a stim and a run in, and the tanks are caught unsieged. This could be bad. This could be bad if you're a freedom lover. Oh my God, one shot in the tanks. I haven't seen a siege tank fire yet. One shot. Two shots. Focus fire. There you go. So only 2 shots. Those 4 siege tanks only got off a total of 2 individual shots. And Freedom Lover is this game hater. He is out. And Zombie is like huge good game, dude. Huge. That was like a huge good game. And I agree. I like that one. It was a little bit of a turtle from, I think, anytime a Terran player opens siege tanks, you can expect that they're going to be defensive. At least I want to qualify this statement, unless you're like watching pro gamers play, then those siege tanks are always out in the middle of the map. But thinking back, I don't remember a time when Freedom Lover was actually on the offensive. I believe his tanks were over. Like, he never, like, there was a little bit here, and then he tried to go over here, but he didn't really get any map control. He had his, he had Vikings on patrol routes looking for drop ships, but that was about it. It was a very aggressive game, or at least all of the aggression was from Zombie, and he did a pretty good job of harassing, killing SCVs. So a good job there, Mr. Zombie. Thank you for sending in the game, and we've got one more from you, so look for that coming up in the next couple of days. I am Wookie. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.